Welcome back to part 2 of our talk on blended learning through coffee time. In this video, we're going to look at a few ways that you can create some online instruction, and one way in particular that you can do some editing basically with Camtasia. So it's going to be sort of fast and furious, and I'm just going to show you a couple of basic things that will get you started. And the nice thing about Camtasia is there are a ton of online video tutorials on their website at techsmith.com. We'll send that link out to you as well. So let's look at a few ways that we can take care of creating instruction online. And for this, I'm going to need my glasses. So one of the things that we think about instruction online is video. It doesn't always have to be that in a blended learning environment. You could be giving your students reading material online. You could be giving them interactive websites to go and explore. But by and large, we think about taking the instruction that you would have given in class and putting them online for students to do outside of class, where they can watch it over and over and over, and you don't have to go through the process of answering 50 million questions. And what would take you normally 30 minutes to do in a classroom might only take you 10 minutes to do in an online video. So one of the ways that you can get video pretty easily is by using something like YouTube. There's videos out there already. And you can look at, if you're teaching a subject that somebody else at school teaches, for instance, Mr. Arnold already does a lot of video work for chemistry. And if you're teaching chemistry, you could go borrow the videos from Mr. Arnold's science channel on YouTube, or you may find something else that works as well. You might go to Vimeo, you might go to SchoolTube, you might use something like Khan Academy, which now has not only math, but also some social studies topics as well. But by and large, I think one of the things that teachers like to do, and my own personal preference, obviously because I'm doing that now, is to create your own video. And one of the things that does is it puts you in front of your students and not somebody else. Now, there are a couple of ways to do that. One is you can do some video work where you're not on the screen. Khan Academy never shows Salman Khan, just the mythical handwriting on the wall and the voice in the ear. But in your classroom, I think there is at least anecdotal evidence that the students connecting to you visually creates a better form of engagement. So we're going to look at some ways to do that. And one of the easiest ways to do what you already do is just to record yourself teaching in class and then to edit down to the places where you just want the students to get information online. So if you're teaching 3 or 4 sections of a class and only one of them is blended, you could very easily set up something in the class to just record a 90-minute class session and then take care of editing that down, and we can teach you how to do that very quickly, editing that down to something that gets to students what they need in 10 to 15 minutes. And if you're going to do that in class, one of the tools that we have available is this little thing called Swivel. Mr. Webb has been using this to create some Latin tutorials, and Swivel is just a device that holds your iPad or your iPhone for you to use it as a way to record. And one of the things that I like about Swivel is it comes with a little pendant that hangs around your neck that serves not only as a Bluetooth tracker, but also as a microphone. So no matter where you are in the classroom, it's picking up your voice right there. And as you move, Swivel then moves and moves the camera with you. The autofocus will stay on you, and it will tilt up and down or left and right depending on where you're at. It has a 360-degree swivel capability, so you can move anywhere in class and be in the video. So Swivel's a nice tool to use, and let's just look at a really quick video from their website as to how that can be used.
This is a swivel on a tripod, and that's where you put your camera, and that cable goes into your camera to give you good audio from the microphone. And this is what Swivel calls the marker. I like to call it a tracking device. So the presenter will wear this around his or her neck, and the swivel will follow that person around the room as they work with participants. It has a record button on there that will automatically start the swivel or start the recording process on an iOS device, that checkbox right there, that one in the middle, will tilt it up and down. So I think there's 20 degrees that the swivel tilts up and down. The marker conveniently stores inside of the swivel, in which both are charged at the same time using a wall adapter. So this is one of my first tests with the marker and the swivel, in which I just had the participants pass it around, and I really appreciate this group, this high school group, having fun with me and being guinea pigs. However, I did have the setting on the audio setting. You can change it. I had it set for an iOS device or iPhone, in which I was using a DSLR at the time, so my audio did not turn out as great as I wanted.
Another way to record your video, if you don't want to invest the $250 or so it takes to get a swivel, is to use something like the Glyph or any other kind of holder that will hold your cell phone or an iPad mini. And so what I use typically it's called a Glyph. It comes from a company called Studio Neat at studioneat.com. We'll provide that website for you as well. It's around $30. It's made out of rubber, and it has a little hex Allen wrench that comes with it to expand it and close it so it holds your camera really tight. Here's a little clip of what it looks like on my camera as I'm recording this video, and you can sort of see where my camera is over here and how that looks, and it just sits there and just does a beautiful job of holding everything and recording. It's something that I would recommend if you're going to do up close, where you're not going to move around a lot, obviously, because you're limited to a particular field of vision. But again, here is a little video of what that looks like from their website.
This is the Glyph. It's a tripod mount and stand for smartphones. It'll work with practically any phone and practically any case because the Glyph is now adjustable. Use the included wrench to size the Glyph to your device, and then you'll never need to adjust it again. Now you're ready to take some crisp pictures. Or maybe watch a movie on the plane. Or maybe a cool time-lapse. Or check your Twitter feed over French toast. And this thing is so portable, you can take it with you wherever you go. Even the packaging is adjustable. Get the Glyph at studioneat.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Once you've taken this video, however you're going to do it, in my case, I'm actually recording the video on my laptop using Camtasia. So let's look over here and we'll kind of show you what this looks like. So this is my setup, basically. I'm sitting here at my dining room table. I try to make sure, as you're looking at the video of me in the raw video footage, you can actually see my hallway over here behind me, and typically there's a couple of trash cans that sit there, so I've moved those out of the way so they're not in the camera. But this is what I have. I have my Mac Air set up, and I'm recording through Camtasia, and I bought this little microphone right here. It's a USB mic, so it plugs in over here to my Mac Air, and it allows me to have better control of the audio. I could record directly into the microphone of the Mac Air, but it comes out sounding kind of tinny, and I don't really like that sound too much. I used to do this with the earbuds that come with your iPhone, and the microphone in there does a great job as well. I just got to the place where I didn't want that cord hanging down my ear anymore. So I invested about, I don't know, $70 or $80 in this microphone. We have some here at school that you could use if you need to. But this is the only setup that I use, and it works really well. And so to create this video, let me show you sort of a couple of quick ways of editing in Camtasia that will help you to create videos that you want. Okay, so I'm going to open up something here that I've worked on previously, and I've gone from having part of my screen recorded to having the entire screen recorded. That is a really, really bad spot for me to stop looking at. Oh, that's even worse. So let's come over here. Oh, there we go. Now we're looking happy, like we've been to the Crown and Goose for a while. So what you're seeing here down at the bottom, this track here that I've just highlighted in blue, that is, you'll see this just highlighted with little markers around it. That is this video that's being recorded through my webcam at the moment. The one down here at the bottom with no audio at all, that is my screen. So the two things are being recorded at the same time. And so when I want to do something with this, for instance, this particular video, let me just sort of take a moment to put it back the way it used to be. So I'm going to pull this back out, sort of like that. And let me pull it back over here. And you know, I usually make all these videos sort of on the fly so that you can see all the mistakes that I make as well. So when this records, it actually looks a lot like this when you first pull it up. Now, 2 or 3 things. I can put myself down there in a regular video where I'm sort of out of the way. However, I have designed my slides such that I've given myself room to put a much bigger version of me here for your benefit so you can enjoy watching me. But if I just make this bigger, you'll see that it covers my text up. And also, it's got way too much real estate out here on the sides, so there's too much being shown here. So you'll notice I chose this little cropping tool right over here. It says Enable Crop Mode. And this just changed to a dotted line. So now I can pull these in and change the shape of the video that I'm doing to match the spot in the video real estate that I want it to be. So I'm going to click that again. And now I can just grab that in the middle and pull it over here. And you'll see these lines that tell me that's the center of the screen. And so it's in the center of the text that I have over there. And now I have it set up so that I can put myself to one side and the text to the other side. So that's one editing thing to think about. A couple of other quick things that we do. One is through transitions. Well, I don't like to go to transitions much. I like to go to animations better. So if I go to animations, I can take here and do a fade out. And in order to do that, I'm just going to select that tool and I'm going to drag it right down here to the timeline where I want it to go. And now, as I'm playing this, it just fades right out. And when I put another fade in right here, then after it fades out, it fades back in again. So if there are times in my video when I want to disappear and get off the real estate screen so that students can concentrate on what I'm doing, I would choose to use this and fade myself out, fade myself back in later. The other thing that, let me just get rid of these, and it's really just selecting and deleting, and they're gone. The other thing that I can do is I can zoom in. So if I choose to zoom in, I got to choose one of 2 things. I can zoom in on my picture or I can zoom in on the screenshot. And so again, if I want to drag this down here, now I've got it in the timeline at the bottom that controls this part of my screen. And so you'll see I'm dragging around the text. So I don't have to let it be just what the screen says. I can make it as big as I want and zoom in. So now it has this really nice, easy way to zoom in. And then when I want to zoom back out again, it puts it automatically back to its original size. So now it's gone. So if there's a part of a text I want students to concentrate on, or if there's a picture and I want them to look at a particular part, or if I'm giving them instructions about how to use a program like I would be doing here, I could really zoom in easily and show the students exactly what I want them to see. And again, it's all drag and drop. So that's another thing that I use. I use the fade in and fade out. I use the zoom in and zoom out. And then the other thing that I use here is under annotations. I could use some type of text, or more times than not, I am using some kind of shape. And so a lot of times I like to use this shape because if I chose something like, let's choose this oval right here, to highlight this word that I want, you notice how I just drug that over into the screen? It's just that simple. And the blue bar down here at the bottom is the default of how long it lasts, and the little green bars tell me it's going to fade in and fade out. That's all built in automatically. So I like this kind of deal because it draws the circle instead of just showing up. So if I look at it and I play it, let deadlines pass by, things get, and then it will fade out when it's over. If I like that, and I don't like yellow because I want it to show up more, I can click on, you'll see most of the time this is not here, I have to click on this little settings tool down here and click on the sketch motion, and I can change that to red. I can also change the width to make it much bolder, and I can make the draw time go longer if I want to, but I don't usually do that. So I can go back and forth between what's happening with my video and what's happening with this one element in the video. And that's really a lot of what I do with editing Camtasia is I will fade in and fade out, I'll zoom in and zoom out, and I'll put some type of marker over something I want to emphasize so that it draws students' eyes to where I'm wanting them to go. And other than that, it's a matter of starting, stopping, and exporting it as an MP4, and you have a video. Upload it to YouTube, you're done. We'll give you some more instructions on how to do that later, but right now, these are some things to think about when you're looking at putting your instruction online. Either a swivel that can track you in class and do a live video of you and then edit that down. The smaller the screen, the smaller the file size. So if you're doing an iPad for 90 minutes, that's a huge, huge file. An iPad mini for 90 minutes is a smaller file. Your iPhone or Android phone is an even smaller file. If you're going to use your phone, I highly recommend that you put it on airplane mode so you don't get a call in the middle and disrupt your video. But that in a nutshell are ways to get things online. Swivel or glyph to hold your phone in one place, or just sit down in front of a computer and talk. Sometimes I have something scripted and I try to read that as it goes, and other times, like in this, I just try to shoot from the hip, cover what I think I need to cover, hope for the best when I'm done, and go from there. So I think that you got an idea here. So now it is time for you to decide how you would like to create online instruction. Just take the little quiz at the end.